Hello, thank you for joining me and welcome to Write On, a video series about writing. I am Quinne, your host, author of the steampunk series The Captain and the Lady Fair, with book 3 in progress and a cookbook. Today's topic, things new writers want to know. Every writer that ever lived had a first effort. Welcome to the club. What about ISBNs and UPCs? The first effort can bring self-doubt. Can I do this? Will it be any good? Will anyone like it? What about writing style? If the work is to be available for online sales on main sales sites such as Amazon, then yes, it needs an ISBN. Amazon allows for their free one, but restrict the use of that ISBN to sales through their system. If you have your own ISBN, then its sales can be handled by other sellers without going through Amazon. If the writer is selling the work directly, most often in print, then no ISBN is needed. UPCs aren't required, as they are an inventory and price code used by retailers. If the writer can make a deal with a local store, the store can create their own UPC for the work and put it on a sticker. At this point, I will mention getting a copyright. Getting a copyright is as simple as uploading the work to the government website and pay a small fee. It will be assigned a number. In a few months, the writer will receive a letter with all the copyright information. The writer is covered from the time the work is uploaded. If edits for punctuation, spelling, and grammar is done later, it will not negate the copyright. ISBNs are the same, but if the cover is changed, prologue added, index added, or in the case of print, the size changes, this will be considered a new edition and a new ISBN will be needed. Having said that, if it is in digital format for an e-reader on Amazon or Smashwords, the change, except for cover, can be slipped in and not require a new ISBN. If the writer has their own ISBN, the writer can name themselves or create a name of a publisher to use as a listed publisher. First, read, and read. It has been said by so many for so long, and it is true. You gain many things from reading. A sense of storytelling, some grammar sinks in, and if reading a favorite series before writing, that style will carry over for a while. Slowly the style will change and become the writer's style. Yes, you can write a book. The first draft might not be so great. That is true of the majority of writers. Think of the first draft as the skeleton to flesh the story on. Then go through the work adding better descriptions, more actions, subplots, motivations for the characters, and better word choices. If you like the work, there will be others that will too. How many is an unknown. To start, write for yourself. Forget all the other questions and write. Get it down. Don't worry about anything except getting it down. After the first draft, go through the work to make it better. Get peer feedback if possible. Meet other writers in a group in your area. Find beta readers online that can give you feedback. If there's not a writers group in your area, you can check the internet on such sites as Meetup, or you can create your own. Feedback. Feedback often stings because someone found something about your work that they think should be changed. Unfortunately, they always give you feedback of, this is wrong, this needs to be changed, I didn't like this. Proper feedback should be, I felt this way when I read this. I felt confused, I got lost, I didn't understand who was speaking. This part was great. I loved this character. It has so much passion. I hate this character. It's so dull I can't remember him. That's kind of a good feedback you need. But just about any feedback can be used. This is your baby they're talking about. Relax. Ignore it for a day or two. Then take a look at the feedback again. It won't hurt as much. If 3 or more say the same thing, there is a problem that needs fixing. Always, it is your work to change or not, but give it serious thought. There are many sources online that can help you understand writing, structure, grammar, punctuation, word usage, and more. Learn one thing at a time, and it's easier. Like taking one step at a time or one bite at a time. Cliche much? POV. I've already done a video on POV, and that would be a choice a writer needs to make. Am I telling the story or an observer? Do I get into the people's heads or not? Each one has pros and cons. Personally, I like the third Omni Limited. Like a movie, the camera sees many angles and places. The main character can't see, but I limit it with no peering into heads to see what anyone is thinking. Your cover. At some point, every writer has to think about the cover. Often it happens early on, as long as it is not too soon that the cover needs to change before publication. Spend time looking at different covers in the genre of the work. What is out there? Does it look like it would match the work? Do the covers look too photoshopped? Are the best ones original art? Am I happy with digital art and original painted or drawn art? I'm not a fan of photoshopped pictures from different sources pasted together. Look at artists online, or at one of the sites that links people with artists. Look at what they do and pick what feels right. I suggest the cover not be too dark, as when it becomes a thumbnail for sites it can become unrecognizable. Editing. Once the work has received the best self-edit, I've done a video on self-editing, it is time to hire a paid editor. There are different kinds of editors, but the basic two are line editors and content editors. One looks at each line for spelling, grammar, punctuation, and word choice. The other looks at the overall work for consistency, plot holes, subplots, flow, and suggests deletions, additions, and may even suggest rearrangement of scenes. Editors are most often paid by the word, but some do work by the hour. If possible, get references. Some editors will do a sample of a section for a small fee to see if they are what is best for your work. Publishing, the big headache. Do I self-publish, go with a big publisher, or a small publishing house? Self-publish, such as Amazon or Smashwords, means having control over the work. The work can be updated at any time. Sales can be halted or resumed, and can have price drops or increases. The majority of the monies of an ebook goes to the writer. If doing a print book, the printer gets a cut, the selling outlet gets a cut, and the rest of the money goes to the writer. Out-of-pocket expenses can be zero if the writer does all the work. If using one of the services that they offer, then that is a flat fee. Sounds great, but if the writer wants to take the work to a named publisher later, many will not touch a work that has been previously published, including ebooks and Amazon. I will mention that in the past, many liked Smashwords because it was available in a wide range of formats for different readers. Amazon now has free software so readers of different formats can still be read on a PC or a Mac and different readers. Some still need to be converted for some readers, but is not a major issue for the buyer. Amazon does have restrictions based on the royalty cut chosen. With the lower royalty, the work can be published elsewhere, but cannot be at a lower price. With the higher royalty, the work cannot be published elsewhere. Big name publishers print and make the work available as ebook as well. The work has to fit the genre they publish and meet the standards they have set, which will be on their website. They will also have guidelines for submissions. Pros, they do not charge the writer any monies, and when there is a contract, they most often pay in advance on expected sales. They will help with the advertising, but unless the writer is already a big name, a great deal of the work still falls on the writer. Cons. They want what they consider a marketable book. This means it will have to conform to some writing standards. If the work is like E.E. Cummings, odds are it'll be rejected. Read the agreements and guidelines carefully, as there are many there may be a penalty for failed sales. Again, they often reject works that have been published elsewhere. They lock up the rights for a set period of time, 3 or more years. This means the work can't be published anywhere else during the life of the contract. For dreamers like me, it often locks up movie rights. The big down is waiting for perhaps months to hear if work is accepted or not, and most do not allow for simultaneous submissions to other agencies. Small publishers are often what used to be called a vanity press. There are now 2 groups. One is the old-style vanity press. The writer pays for everything and gets a cut of the sales. They charge for setup, editing, cover, and printing. They may or may not have a full distribution to brick-and-mortar stores so they can get the book. The writer also eats the cost of returned books from stores if it does not sell. The second type is not a publisher but a printer. They have the services to do layout, cover, etc., and will charge for it, but also can accept work already edited, formatted, and print ready. These printers only print the work and fulfill orders by the writer. There is one exception I'll mention in a moment. They do not accept returns. I had to use one of this type of printer because of my double-sided book. The main publishers would not accept it because half the book is printed upside down, and the software they use would reject it as errors. I found 2 printers that would handle the work, and one has an online stores where readers can buy my work directly from them. I don't get a kickback, but thanks to bookpatch.com, they're carrying my double-sided book, The Captain and the Lady Fair, in their online sales store. I will say there are cheaper printers out there that have the same quality and are a bit cheaper, but they don't have a sales store. Pros. They accept completed print-ready works. They're quick to print and the ship time. Quality can be as high as any other printer. The writer only pays print cost and shipping. Most do not require an ISBN. The writer sells the book and keeps all the profits once they've paid the print cost. Cons. The writer may pay postage twice. If the writer has the book sent to themselves for an autograph, then pay shipping again to the buyer. Most will allow for direct ship to buyer. The writer pays for the print and has it drop shipped. The writer has to collect the monies from the buyer. There is no help in getting word out for the work, and no distribution for brick and mortar stores. So that's a big downside. Well, this is getting long. If you have any suggestions for topics, please leave a comment below. Also, I'd like to mention if you press subscribe, you'll get email when a new video is posted. Press like if my videos have helped, and it will help the presence on YouTube. Until next time, ride on.